multiple answers for the question about the alien. The first, the question should be framed, in my opinion, what are the aliens? And in chapter 12 of my book on implants, my co-writer, Pat Gray, a nurse, said, we really need a good zinger for this chapter. And I said, okay, what do you want to do? And she said, well, something good about the aliens. I said, okay, do aliens have implants? What a great question. Wow, that's going to be great for the chapter. I said, okay. She's, do they? I said, sweetie, aliens are implants. These things are made, hatched, cloned, and manufactured for the purpose. Made, hatched, cloned, that's not all the same process, or manufactured for the purpose of interaction with mankind to make you think they're aliens from other planets. Now, before some of our listeners get all bent out of shape, well, you said all aliens. I didn't say that. I said this 7 flavors we're looking at. It's like a car company. You go down to the Chevy company, and there's a Chevette down there for the folks who can't afford the good stuff, and there's a Corvette Stingray on the other end if you want to spend some bucks. So that's kind of neat. So you've got the little gray with the IQ of about 80 on one end, and you've got the Nordic and the other characters over that. Praying Mantis, about 7.5 foot tall. He's got an IQ a lot higher than that cosmic skinhead standing over there, I guarantee you. But the fact is, some of these beings are hatched, cloned, made, or manufactured. Some of them, the best way to describe them, they are in fact transgenics. A chimera, is at least two species put together. Made, manufactured, hatched. Again, you can call it anything you want. Some of these entities are biomechanical. Sometimes there'll be 3 or 4 aliens, and they'll move literally in synchronicity. It's like watching a movie, like 4 of them at a time. Like, weird. They're all moving the same way. Those are probably strictly mechanical or biomechanical. Some of these entities, there are craft out there that are like this as well. It's not just the alien. And as for they live on another planet, I seriously doubt that. I have found no planet I think they live on. I can show you film footage, NASA and other film footage of craft hundreds of miles big. We have one craft that's 50 miles thick, 600 miles across that that some of our people are taken to in a mass abduction. That's another story altogether. It's called the December 8th, 1992 mass abduction. And the reason they were all taken to this massive craft is because I designed a plan to get to the alien. I got tired of them always taking us. I wanted to see if we could, turn the tables around. And it apparently worked, because they were real bent out of shape about that. When they brought my senior investigator is an engineer, and they brought him in there, and the very first thing, there was the so-called aliens in charge weren't. The 7 of them, all 7 flavors, are standing right there in front of the big guy sitting in the chair. And he's looking as serious as a heart attack at my senior investigator. And he looks at him, and when he asks a question, you better have the answer, and it better be clear and totally true. And the Nordics and all the others, the Grays and all of them are standing over there. They're shaking. This guy is big. He's from mid-level management. And there's 2 of them, one in one room and him in this room. And he's looking at Dale, and he says, why did he do this? And he said, your name came up, your picture, everything about you, and exactly what happened. He said, then I realized at that point why we had all been taken. You pulled this off. And I said, sure. He said, well, why didn't you tell me? I said, because you're an abductee, Dale. You would have told them everything. Yeah, I would have. I said, just like you did. I didn't want you to know anything because I didn't want them to know anything. If I want them to know everything, I'll tell an abductee. Because you'll squeal like a pig. You'll tell them everything. All I got to do is put you in the school of higher consciousness, or tell you you're special, you're unique, you're different than all of the others, you're whatever. Or they'll scare you half to death and make you think they're going to mutilate you. Whatever it takes to get you to squeal, you're going to do it. Or they'll bring the most beautiful woman in the world. Oh my God, she's so incredible. She's everything I ever wanted in a woman. Oh my gosh. And it'll be a cosmic skinhead mimicking a woman. It doesn't make any difference. Whatever it takes to get you to squeal, they're going to get it done. I said, I know them like I wrote the book on them. And eventually I will. Got another one just for that. Because there are other people out there that are not taken up by all this. They actually get pretty much what's kind of going on. They don't know how to go get all this stuff, but they at least want to know. And that's what my next book's going to be about, how for them to be able to do that. But the aliens, some of them are biological, some of them are strictly biological, some of them are this. But the important thing that most of our abductees who have a sense of understanding in their abduction, like one woman is taken, a lady named Maria, she's sitting there all stunned. Oh my God, this is incredible. And she's so impressed with him and everything. Then all of a sudden, she finally snaps out of that and reaches over with her palm and touches him on the chest, says, oh my God, he has no soul. You finally got that. You figured that out. I was delighted that she did, but I mean, how many 25, 30 years you've been abducted and you still never even suspected? You're exactly right. And the main thing, the guys on the big craft, the two primary guys who were, I got to tell you this because your audience will love this. Dale says, I don't know why he did this. Well, the guy sitting in the big chair got mad. Oh, he was fuming. And everybody was shaking. They're like, I mean, this guy could end all of your careers. He could have you all step outside for a breath of fresh air if you like, and that'd be the end of all of you guys. I mean, he's got the authority to do all kinds of stuff. So the Nordic, who stands about 6'6", goes over to Dale, who stands 6'2", puts his face to face and forehead to forehead to Dale's, and with his big, beautiful blue eyes, oh, it's so beautiful, so alluring, puts his eyes next to Dale's and looks at him very carefully, puts his hands on both sides of his face, and looks back at the big guy sitting in the big chair and says, he doesn't know. And with that, the guy cools down because he realizes he actually doesn't get it. So at this point, they realize I've hoodwinked them. You're not going to get anything from these people because none of them have a clue. None of them. So we could spend the whole time on this. I won't, but I'm just underscoring this to let people realize that the alien's not in charge. Oh, yes, but the reptile's in charge of this. There are gradations. And if an entity has a coat on or cloak or clothing of any kind, he's already really important. If he doesn't have any clothes on, he's not that big a deal. It's a sign of rank and forget the word respect. Respect doesn't exist among them. Fear. When they say things like, well, the alien came in the room, I was paralyzed, I couldn't move, I couldn't do anything. He's transferring his fear from himself to you. It's his fear, not yours. I never had a fear like that because it isn't your fear. It's his. The reason you can't even imagine one like that is because there never was one like that for you. It's his. He lives in a society like that. And if you don't understand that about the alien, you're going to miss the barn by 15 yards. It's not going to happen. The biggest problem we have as abductees, contactees, or researchers, or whomever you are, or casual reader, is that you apply your standards of humanity, the highest good that you have, to them because they're far higher than us. In whose opinion? Kidnapping's still a crime where I come from. Mm-hmm.